Namaste and welcome back to today's episode of Mahabharata Matters. In the previous episode, we saw that Bhīṣma was giving discourses on many topics, not just for the king but for the common man as well. Yudhishthira asked many questions pertaining to code of conduct to facilitate welfare of the society. He continued and asked Bhīṣma, "I want to know more about truth." Bhīṣma said, "Truth is the very dharma of every human being. It is the greatest tapas and one has to resort to it at all times. The entire world stands upon this one thing, truth. Truth is Brahman. Truth is unchangeable, eternal and unshakable." Yudhishthira asked, "What is the one thing we should strive for at all times?" Bhīṣma answered, "Not to procrastinate. We have to strive to this because death is preying on us at all times. No one ever knows how much time he has on this earth. Whatever he is planning to do tomorrow, he should do it today. What he plans to do today, he should do it now. Virtuous deeds not only bring happiness in this world, but in the nether worlds as well. Worldly desires and attachments only bring bondage. Seeking truth is the only way to liberation. Understanding the transient nature of the material world should bring vairagya, dispassion, to a person. Material possessions and attachment to people only bring bondages. Attachment to people and things is another way of dying every day. It is the worst kind of sorrow. Vairagya, renunciation, is the easiest and best remedy to be happy here and hereon as well." Yudhishthira asked, "Who is a person who is highly accomplished and everyone speaks highly of him?" Bhīṣma said that would be possible only for a learned man. When a man is learned, he won't be proud or wrathful. He will be kind-hearted and composed. He will be always peaceful and never indulge in sense pleasures. With the knowledge about his true nature that he is Supreme Brahman, he is calm, pleasant and sweet-spoken. Yudhishthira asked, "What makes a person virtuous or a sinner? How can he develop vairagya? How can he attain liberation from all sorrows?" Bhīṣma said, "Desire initiates sinful actions." He quoted this verse, "Jiryanti jiryatah keshaha, danta jiryanti jiryatah, chakshusrotre cha jiryethe, drishnaika natu jiryate." What this means is, hair ripen with age, teeth wear out with age, ears and eyes start failing too. But alas, the intense thirst of desire will never be satiated. As said earlier, desire brings with itself a horde of other enemies. Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all of them come as a package. These lead one towards his own destruction. On the other hand, a person driven by righteousness will perform actions for the benefit of others. He has self-control over his senses and will not succumb to petty desires. When he is free from desires, vairagya comes naturally. With vairagya, moksha is the next step to follow. To such a person, pleasure and pain are equal. To him, a humble dwelling is as good as a king's palace. Riches and rags are treated similarly by him. He is unperturbed by gain or loss. He is equanimous in victory and in defeat. He has no fear of anyone or anything because he has expanded his vision beyond the names and forms of people and objects around him. Whether affluence or adversity, he knows this too shall pass. He has samatvam, equanimity in his demeanor. Yudhishthira asked, "So does this mean that he has to give up everything and go live in a forest like a sannyasi?" Bhīṣma smiled and he said, "No, my dear child. The king does not have to give up his palace, nor a common man has to give up his family. True renunciation is being free from attachment. If a person is unbiased and free from strings of attachment of me and mine, even if he is living in a palace, he can be the truest renunciate." Then Yudhishthira wanted to know, where does the goddess of prosperity live? Bhīṣma said, "Prosperity is where there is alertness, eloquence in speech, and no laziness. A Brahmana committed to studying the scriptures, a Kshatriya committed to righteousness, a Vaishya committed to cultivation and business, a Shudra who is committed to his Swami Bhakti, devotion towards his employer, there is prosperity." All these places are the favorite places of dwelling for goddess of prosperity. Yudhishthira's next question was, How should a person conduct himself if he desires to go to heaven after passing on? Bhīṣma said to achieve this, he has to follow austerities, tapas, at many levels. They include manasa, vacha, and kayika. He should follow these many austerities with sincere effort. Sinful acts of the mind are of three types: wanting what belongs to others, thoughts of hurting others, and disbelief in the Vedas. Sinful acts of the vachas, words, are of four types: speaking reproachful words, speaking lies, tattling about people behind their backs, as well as gossiping. Sinful acts of the kaya, our body, are of three types: destroying other beings, thieving, and coveting a wife of another man. If a person avoids these 10 types of sinful acts, he can be guaranteed to have a happy life here and after passing on as well. Yudhishthira asked, "They say brahmacharya is a superior kind of act. Is that true?" Bhīṣma answered, "Brahmacharya, celibacy, is a great tapas, of course. Staying away from meat and alcohol is considered even higher. It is a virtue that keeps one on a path of righteousness and keeps his senses under his control." Yudhishthira next asked, "Who is the one friend that accompanies a man at all times, no matter what? Who is this one friend that will not abandon a person at any time? Who is this one well-wisher who will accompany a person after his death as well?" Bhīṣma answered this with a verse. "Artha grihe nivartante shmashane mitra bandhavaha sukritam dushkritam chaiva gachantam anugacchati." What this means is, a man takes birth alone and he dies alone. Whatever he enjoys in this world, he has to leave behind and go. All the wealth he has earned gets left behind at home itself. His friends and family leave him behind at the crematorium. It is only the good and bad deeds of the jiva that accompany him after life. If one desires a pleasant companion, might as well perform dharmic deeds here and now. Yudhishthira asked, "Who is the one and only refuge in whom we can confide at all times? Who is it that can give us everything without a doubt?" Bhīṣma looked at Krishna, who was standing there radiantly. He said, "Krishna is the Paramaguru. He is the abode of knowledge. He is the supreme Brahman. He is the highest resort. He is the holiest refuge. He is the eternal existence of the past, present, and future as well. Seek refuge in him, the supreme Atma." After this, Bhīṣma said to Yudhishthira, "I have taught everything you need to be a great king and the best human being. You can rule the kingdom now like your predecessors, Nahusha, Harishchandra, Yayati, and others. Go back to the palace now and come back when Uttarayana Punyakalam starts. I will see you all then." Everyone retired to the palace upon hearing this. So what are our takeaways from this part of the story? Like last time, every word Bhīṣma spoke is something to be thought about and inculcated in daily life. These are practical words of advice that hold good even to this day. With these thoughts, we come to the end of today's episode. Remember, in this series we are discussing matters of Mahabharata because even today, Mahabharata matters. Hari Om!